I, 32M, have been married to my wife, 31F, for 7 years. For that entire time, her best friend, 31F, has basically been our third wheel. They call themselves soul sisters. I thought I was just the lucky guy who married into a tight-knit support system. I work in architectural firm management. I'm a guy who notices when things are off by an inch, but apparently I was blind to what was happening under my own roof. My wife is a corporate consultant who travels a lot. Her friend is a freelance designer who spent more time in our kitchen drinking our expensive wine than actually working. 3 weeks ago, I was moving a heavy mahogany dresser in our guest room to fix a loose floorboard. I found a small smartphone taped behind the charging port housing, plugged into a hidden extension lead inside the wall. It wasn't a burner. It was an encrypted device. I have a background in system security, so it took me a few hours to get in. I expected to find a secret job, or maybe a weird habit. I didn't expect to find a 2-year digital diary of my own destruction. There were thousands of texts between my wife and her best friend. The first message I hit, dated 2 years ago, said, "He's asleep. I hate the way he breathes. I can't wait to be back in the hotel with you in Chicago next month. Did you book it under the corporate account?" The friend replied, "Already done. He has no idea he's funding our entire life. He's just the wallet that keeps the house warm." They weren't just having an affair. They were engineering a life where I was a silent ghost. They literally called me the ATM and the provider drone. They timed my wife's cycles to ensure that if she got pregnant, they'd have a legacy to live off of. They were even planning for the friend to move into the backyard cottage ADU I was currently building. The friend actually texted, "Tell him you need another $5,000 for that wellness retreat. I want to see the Grand Canyon from a suite, and I'm not paying for it." My wife's reply? "He already transferred it. He's so easy to manage. It's almost sad." I didn't confront them immediately. I spent 6 hours cloning that phone. Every photo, every spreadsheet of my assets they were siphoning, and every mocking comment was moved to my secure cloud. I realized a standard divorce wasn't enough. Since we live in a community property state with a waste of marital assets clause, I could claw back everything they spent on each other if I played this right. I went to a high-level divorce attorney. He looked at the texts and nearly dropped his coffee. They had been funneling my year-end bonuses into a hidden offshore account in the Caymans using a forged signature. Total theft? $140,000. I played the provider drone for 10 more days. I kissed her goodbye when she left for a leadership summit in Sedona. The friend happened to be going that way too. As soon as their car cleared the driveway, I went to work. I changed the locks. I had a moving crew pack her stuff and move it to a storage unit, paid for 1 month, key mailed to her mother along with the Chicago hotel receipts. I also told the contractor to board up the ADU windows and install commercial-grade locks. Sunday night, they pulled into the driveway, laughing and carrying shopping bags. My wife tried her key. It didn't work. She started pounding on the door, yelling that the lock was stuck. I opened the door just a crack. "The lock isn't stuck," I said. "It's been replaced." I held up the secret phone. The friend turned white. My wife tried to claim it was a work phone for a private project and that I had no right to look at it. I asked her if her boss usually asked her to drain the ATM for spa days. A process server stepped out from behind me and handed them both a thick stack of papers, divorce papers, a restraining order, and a summons for a civil suit. The friend started screaming. She actually tried to shove her way past me into the foyer, shouting about squatters' rights because she stayed over 4 nights a week. "You don't live here," I told her. "And your car, the one my wife bought you with our vacation fund, is being hooked up to a tow truck right now. Look behind you." The friend ran down the driveway, sobbing as her sedan was hauled away. My wife was hysterical. "You're destroying my career. I have a right to be in this house." I told her I'd already sent a brief to her HR department about her using company portals to hide personal expenses. They were already starting an audit. "Where are we supposed to go?" my wife begged. I pointed to the bus stop 2 miles down the road. "The police are on their way to enforce the restraining order." I'd start walking. I shut the door and listened to them kick it for 3 minutes until the sirens got close. The courtroom was the final blow. They showed up with a public defender because their offshore money was frozen. My wife tried to tell the judge the phone was a creative writing project. Then my lawyer played the audio from the ADU security cameras where they laughed about claiming I was mentally unstable to get a conservatorship over me. The judge was disgusted. He awarded me 90% of our liquid assets to cover the $140,000 they stole. The friend got hit with a massive civil judgment for conversion of property. As we left, the friend tried one last jab. "You're still a lonely loser. We still have each other." I smiled. "Actually, you don't. Check your phone." I sent my wife the messages you sent your ex-boyfriend. The ones where you said you were only using her to get to my money, so you two could run away. The screaming match that broke out in the courthouse hallway was the best thing I've ever heard. My house is quiet now. The ADU is going to be my new hobby studio. I'm no longer the ATM. I'm just a guy who finally stopped paying for people who hated him. If you enjoyed watching this ATM go out of service, make sure to subscribe before your own account hits 0. Would you like me to go into more detail about the specific legal steps I took to freeze those offshore accounts?